Having an electric car charger installed at your home may raise concerns that anybody with an electric car can use it. So in today's episode, we're going to tackle that very issue. But before we get stuck in, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below so you don't miss any future content or videos just like this one. Installing a home charger for your electric car or plug-in hybrid is a brilliant choice. Take it from me, home charging with a dedicated 7 kilowatt charge point is much more convenient and faster than a standard domestic socket, and it's safer. Plus, it can help you save money if you switch to the right energy tariff. But we often get asked about the security of the charger. Can somebody take the cable? Could a stranger park up and charge their electric car? And other similar questions around this. These are all valid concerns, but I am here to explain why it's very unlikely that someone will steal your electricity using your home charger. And I should just give a shout out to our friend EV Man because he's done an excellent video on this very topic, but we still get a lot of customers asking us about security around their chargers, so we thought we would double down and answer them ourselves as well. So here are some reasons why your car charger won't be borrowed. First off, charging schedules are your friend. All smart EV chargers allow you to set a time when your car will start charging and when it will stop. If you use this function, this means your car could be plugged in, but it won't charge until it reaches the time you have set. The same goes for any unscrupulous EV drivers wanting to steal your electricity. They would need to use your charger, without someone noticing of course, at the exact times your charging schedule is due to kick in. For example, you might set your charging schedule to begin at 12:30 am and finish by 4 am. In this scenario, an energy thief would need to plug in his or her vehicle between these hours to get any charge at all. As you can imagine, the chances of this are very low. Secondly, choose a charger with a lock feature. If you are still concerned about the security of your device and you want some added reassurance, some car chargers have a lock function. This isn't necessarily a physical lock as such, but it will prevent any charge occurring if set. For example, the Wallbox Pulsar Plus, which you can find on our website, has this feature and can be remotely locked or unlocked via the app. Thirdly, the time it takes to charge. Charging an electric car isn't exactly a speedy process, so assuming the so-called energy thief manages to plug in without your knowledge, they won't be having a quick getaway. They will need to sit with the car while it charges at 7.4 kilowatts or thereabouts, adding around 30 miles of range per hour. As EV Man quite rightly mentions in his video, there is a risk-reward situation for any thief. Thieves normally target high-value items that do not require much time or thought to retrieve. In other words, the exact opposite of your car charger, which is difficult to get at and use, and the energy dispensed is cheap. So the thief isn't really getting much reward for the amount of effort required to actually use the charger and steal your electricity. Electric cars are few and far between. Yes, it's true, electric cars are rapidly increasing in popularity, but as of now, they still represent a small percentage of the overall market. This in itself makes the prospect of somebody using your car charger without your knowledge very unlikely. Now, this could of course change as electric cars increase in popularity and there's more of them on the road and there's more chargers around, but then it begs the question, if there's lots of chargers around and people are able to charge their own cars easily, what's the point in borrowing someone else's? And again, as we've already discussed, it's still really quite hard to steal someone else's electricity. For your home car charger to be used without permission, a lot of things need to happen, and I'll sum them up very briefly here. The energy thief in question will need to own an electric car themselves, which, as we've just mentioned, is not necessarily likely given that the electric car market is still a small percentage of the overall market. Secondly, they will also need to know that you own an EV and also have a charger at home. Thirdly, they will then need to access your driveway and charge point without you or the neighbours noticing. Now, not being a thief myself, I can still imagine that discreetness and not being caught are your two primary objectives, as well as obviously stealing the thing you want to get at. So parking up on somebody else's driveway and plugging in isn't exactly the best way to avoid attention. Fourthly, as mentioned earlier, they need to be plugged in at the right time. And finally, they need to wait quite a long time to get a decent charge. All of this begs the question, who could be bothered with all of that just to get a free charge at someone else's cost? It's a lot to go through, and while we can't say for sure that it won't happen, and it's not physically impossible, we think it's extremely unlikely that someone else will borrow your car charger without permission and without you knowing. In summary though, if this still bothers you, I would just urge you to choose a charger that has a remote lock and unlock function such as the Wallbox Pulsar Plus mentioned earlier. I hope that helps reassure you. If you have any further questions, please give our customer service team a call or email, and I'm sure they'll be happy to help. And if you want some further detail or another explanation on why energy theft or someone borrowing your car charger is very unlikely, then I would highly recommend EV Man's video on the same topic, and I'll leave the link in the description below. See you next time.